but the immediate changes are from 2 to 3 DNA strands, and later into 12. It is speculated that the human beings already had 12 DNA strands hundreds of thousands of years ago, but someone or something interfered in our evolution, downgrading us to only 2. It is not just we humans who are changing, but all life forms on Earth are becoming crystalline. All the fish in the sea, the flowers and trees in your garden, the birds in the sky, even your pet dog or cat. Everything is changing. Nothing will die or be destroyed, for we are all moving together into a new state of being. This new state of being requires therefore that we physically, mentally and emotionally let go of third-dimensional concepts. Just as in death, the letting go is a major part of the change process, for one cannot take the old values and way of being into a new completely different afterlife. So the progression through changes compels us to let go of current relationships, jobs, careers, homes, possessions, and so on, if they are unable to support our new way of being. Is it any wonder therefore, that there is a great deal of anxiety and fear being felt because these changes are already in progress, even though most people are not conscious of it? Also, the changes to our physiological makeup are currently speeding up and there are many temporary physical symptoms that are occurring in our bodies, as a consequence of this. Some of these are flu-like symptoms, high temperatures, sweating, aching bones and joints etc., but which do not respond to antibiotics. Migraine headaches. Severe pain that is not relieved with painkillers. Occasional diarrhea. Occasional runny nose. With sneezing which lasts 24 hours, and is not a cold or hay fever. Dizziness, ringing in the ears, heart palpitations, feeling the whole body vibrate. Especially AGT, when one is in a relaxed state. Intense muscle spasms. Plus pain in the body, often the back. Tingling. In arms, hands, legs or feet. Loss of muscular power. In hands, caused by changes in circulation system. Occasional breathing difficulties. And or noticing stronger or louder breathing, when in a relaxed state. Immune system changes, lymphatic system changes, feeling tired. Or exhausted from minor exertion. Wanting to sleep. Longer and more often than normal. Toenails and hair growing quicker than normal. Bouts of depression for no real reason. Delving into the past. And looking at relationships, gaining clarity on personal issues. Feeling of a huge purge, tension, anxiety and high stress levels. Because one feels that something is going on but doesn't know what it is. Some of these symptoms are being felt by a great many people. Many are rushing off in panic to their doctor, chiropractor, herbalist, etc. and are usually told that there is nothing wrong with them. And this is the truth. For all these symptoms are just temporary, and simply indicate that these physiological changes are occurring. Some of the recommended relief remedies for the above are, go with the flow, don't fight it. If you feel tired and exhausted, rest and get plenty of sleep. Drink lots of water for you are detoxing and dehydrating quicker than usual. To relieve emotional tension and stress levels, take valerian. Fenugreek relieves stress on the lymphatic system and helps the detoxification. To relieve muscle spasm, take valerian and try mud baths or a long, hot soak in a bath to which you add a cup of Epsom salts. Do this daily. Recognize that even if you are having heart palpitations or breathing difficulties, that it is the heart chakra or the throat chakra that is unblocking and that the symptoms are temporary. You aren't dying, just changing. However, don't just take my word for it. Seek medical guidance if you are unsure. If you don't know where to get valerian or fenugreek, try a health food store, or better still, simply say the name in your head when you need relief. All healing energies are transmitted via the sound of the name, and are just as effective said in the mind or aloud, as in physically taking them. Try it and see. Ask your angel guides to help relieve any pain. They're just waiting to be asked. Most symptoms seem to last a couple of weeks, then clear up. Some symptoms may recur from time to time. These changes are not necessarily being experienced by everyone concurrently. A very small percentage of adults have already completed the entire change into crystalline form, and now embody 1024 strands of DNA. One report is of a woman, who has grown 3 inches taller and a foot size larger. All children under the age of 7 have also now completed the change, or will shortly do so. Babies born in the past 2 years have all been born with the full set of DNA. Some people are only just starting to move through these changes, and many others have yet to start. This process of change is known as the awakening, or as the ascension process, or known as achieving the Merkaba, or light body. We need to transcend our fears and learn about love, real love, which has to start with the self. Because, until we can love and trust ourselves, we cannot truly love or trust anything or anybody else. 4. The spiritual connection, as scientific research has now proven, our DNA, shown on this page in the familiar double helix configuration, holds the genetic codes for your physical and emotional evolution. Still to be discovered by science is the fact that your DNA has a much greater purpose than simply being a blueprint for your body. The Genome Project decoded only approximately 3% of the total physical DNA. The remaining 97% was then termed junk, inferring it has no purpose. The truth is that the human body is extremely efficient, and anything that is of no use becomes atrophied, and is evolved out of existence within a few generations. If 97% of our DNA is junk, why do we still have it? That so-called junk DNA in your body contains all your history, since you first incarnated onto this planet, many lifetimes ago. It's where your Akashic record, the record of your soul, resides. Our DNA has been called a living library, because of the wealth of information stored on it. There are 10 additional strands of DNA, or 5 double helix strands, which were disconnected or deactivated eons ago. Science has yet to discover these strands, although they have seen the shadows of them on their electronic microscopes. They call them shadow DNA. With 12 strands of DNA activated, you have access to 10 times the information available from your DNA. These additional strands encompass the following areas of your life. Connection to God's Supreme Creator. Inner vision, receiving messages from spiritual guidance. Communication, both physical and spiritual. Love, both human and divine. Physical body. Life force, energy, chi and personal will, signs of spiritual progress. Thirst for clean water. The new intracellular electromagnetic connections in your body will naturally encourage you to drink more pure water. This results in a more pure body, free of toxins. Your body will be working with a greater number of electromagnetic connections, and needs to be properly hydrated to ensure clear, strong communication between you and your spirit guides. Hunger for pure food. Your cravings for food will change effortlessly to that which is more pure and has a greater nutritional content, such as organic and raw foods. This process will be effortless, almost seeming to be automatic. Greater health. You'll have a clearer, stronger connection to your body, and will be able to communicate with and reprogram the DNA in every cell. Additionally, as you shift your eating and drinking habits to include healthier choices, your body will respond by having better health. Inner peace. Greater energy. The increased number of electromagnetic connections within your body will enhance the natural flow of energy throughout all your physical systems. With each extra DNA strand, one is closer to the creation, a perfect connection with the creation. Great spiritual guidance. The activation of each extra DNA strand is a reconnection to your true divine self. Connection to all living things. Animals, devas, nature spirits, and Gaia herself. Connection to other dimensions. You'll be able to connect with ease to higher dimensions for spiritual wisdom. You are a multidimensional being, residing in many dimensions other than this, the third dimension. What you call your higher self is often you, in another dimension. 12 strands of DNA. Our Spiritual Heritage by Kate A. Spreckley. For years science has recognized that we have 2 active physical strands of DNA. We also have a further 10 energetic DNA strands, which have been dormant within the human being for many centuries. These dormant strands of DNA have been discovered by scientists, who, not knowing the function of these strands, have identified them as junk DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is a nucleic acid that contains all the genetic instructions used in the development and functioning of all known living things. The main role of DNA is the long-term storage of information. DNA is often compared to a set of blueprints, since it contains the instructions needed to construct other components of cells. The DNA segments that carry genetic information are called genes, but other DNA sequences have structural purposes, or are involved in regulating the use of genetic information. Our DNA is therefore our personal blueprint, and as such contains all our mental, physical, emotional and spiritual information. The original human being had 12 strands of DNA actively working, and maintaining the full function of the human as a spiritual being. With our over-preoccupation with left brain thinking and the closing down of our heart centers, these extra DNA strands have been lost. The consequences of this loss are that we live in a spiritually deficient society, and our intuitive and healing abilities have been hugely reduced. It has also resulted in us only accessing and using a very small part of our brains. The human body is very valuable. It stores and holds a wealth of information, wisdom and knowledge on every aspect of ourselves, our world and all of life. Combinations of intelligence are stored within the human, and a great amount of data is stored inside the body. Inside our bodies are the formulas required to replicate other forms of intelligence throughout the universe. At conception, we receive, from our 2 different bloodlines, our parents, certain matched and paired recessive genes. These genes hold light codes that give us the highest opportunity for accessing and developing our spiritual abilities and for healing the damaged and wounded aspects of our soul. At the same time, these genes hold memories, which have created blocks to our path to oneness, and initiated our deep-rooted feelings of separation from our true essence and our Creator. This memory of separation has forced us to create experiences and situations where we are given the opportunity to heal ourselves, our world and our separations. As a soul, we carefully picked and chose our parents and their bloodlines in order to facilitate experiences and situations that will enable us to heal ourselves. We have therefore handpicked our own DNA structures and the possible opportunities to activate and awaken further strands of DNA. The energy of our Earth is moving through major vibrational shifts and into higher levels of consciousness. As the Earth raises her vibration, we as human beings are being given many opportunities to raise our vibration. This shift is being referred to as the ascension, and there are many people around the world who are experiencing confusion and chaos in their worlds. Yet in this seeming chaos and confusion lie great opportunities for us to grow, expand and evolve. One of the most exciting aspects of our evolutionary process is the retooling of our DNA. Cosmic light encoded rays from our Creator have been coming into our Earth, stimulating change and reordering our human bodies. As the light-encoded filaments are absorbed into our being, our scattered DNA is being activated and reformed into new helixes or strands of DNA and being reordered into bundles. As this rebundling and reordering progresses, we create a more evolved nervous system that facilitates new information and data to move into our consciousness. Many of our dormant brain cells are being awoken, and we are being able to access our full body potential. As our bodies fill with more light, so our memories are opened and we evolve, as our DNA evolves into conscious multidimensional beings. Our 12 strands of DNA activate and connect to our 12 chakra points, energy doorways through which we access our spiritual heritage. The 12 strands of DNA serve as links through the 12 chakras to the energy web outside of our bodies. The 12 chakras act as energetic doorways into our body, connecting us to the vital forces of existence. It is through opening and activating these portals of energy that we can begin to truly know ourselves. As all 12 strands of DNA are now forming, whatever issues we have not dealt with and peacefully cleared in our personal history will create chaos. Feelings and memories are emerging, offering us an opportunity to experience the fabric of our being, and revealing who we are through the events and beliefs that are intricately woven into us. Our task is to awaken, activate and unite all 12, creating the spinning of the 12. This spinning of the 12 strands of DNA and 12 chakra points will draw to us energies that will intermingle and move throughout our beings, activating and awakening the many different aspects of ourselves. This will trigger new versions, understandings and meanings to all the events in our lives and our world. Our 12 chakras are collections of energy where events can emerge. They hold memory and identity, and each corresponds to a strand of DNA. These 12 energy centers must be accessed from within, where we can feel the data corresponding within, translating our experiences within the context of our minds. By opening our hearts and minds, all the answers to the great mysteries will be found within. We are required to step out of our current belief systems, and to create new belief systems, as the mind is structured to evolve and form our experiences based on what we command. Our mind is not our master, we are the masters of our own minds. The mind is but a tool to be used to create reality and nothing more. By consciously working with the waves of energy and light moving into our Earth, we are able to realize and understand that the transformation of this planet is based upon the healing and power of our minds. Activating the full 12 DNA strands will create a connection between our human genetic coding and give us access to all knowledge and wisdom. This is the awareness and understanding of who we truly are. In activating all 12 strands of DNA, we create an alignment within ourselves, allowing us to gently shift into much higher vibrational levels and frequency of light, helping our ascension process by further awakening our human consciousness. Conclusion: our DNA is mutating, no doubt about it. The old human species is evolving at a very high rate. We are regaining the lost DNA strands, and we will consciously reconnect to the source. Nothing can and nothing will stop this process, because the creation will make it manifest. Our mission is to accept the new energy that is being sent to us, and help the creation modify our physical bodies. Do not fight evolution. Accept and embrace it. We are shaping as we speak the new human race.